What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And for today's video guys, I have several quite interesting news. First of all, I will explain you what options do we have except the lawsuits that we already have on the table right now, and what is the main idea of statute of limitations and how it can be implemented to our case. On top of that guys, I will show you quite interesting due diligence and I will show you quite important explanation of the actions of FINRA and SEC, and on top of that I will show you the numbers that prove that these authorities can do easily their job in order to help the community members, MMTLP community members, but they do nothing, and that is why we have to act as one huge mechanism. And before we dive deep into all of this guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section for whatever reasons you want. And let's start with this couple of tweets. You know that just a couple of days ago Scott made a statement that wasn't so pleasant for some MMTLP community members. He wanted to ask some tricky questions. He wanted to ask Greg McCabe with some tricky questions that potentially might shed some light on our case. And some of MMTLP community members think that it is not the best idea to ask him, because he is on our side and we have to rely on his actions and on his efforts in order to see the resolution. But guys, the clock is ticking and we have not so much time till the major deadline. And let me show you first of all this tweet that was reposted by Mark Basil on October 18th, and that was originally made by Mark G. Mark said that he is completely agree with this statement, and the statement is following. To my understanding, Scott wants NBH more transparency. He wants to look into books, assets. He wants to know why NBH lost the very asset entire investment community invested, and who are the overseas shorts that approached. If you ask anything to company, you are the enemy, in my opinion. So, and for now we can see these actions that Scott is pretty much a non grata person in MMTLP community, despite the fact that he is the initiator and he is the lead plaintiff in one of two RICO lawsuits that might give us the resolution. Guys, ask yourself honestly, what will be right after the beginning of December of this year? We will not be able to file any new lawsuits. We don't have any movements towards the resolution through Congress path or through any other potential paths that we had previously. The only path to the resolution so far is the litigation process, and we have a pure deadline of this. Let me show you the explanation of Mark Basil. He added basically the screenshot of the rule itself, and he explained it. MMTLP, I didn't write the statute of limitations. Congress did. If you want to believe non-lawyers and social media lawyers' interpretation, that's on you. TDS against me has your common sense completely clouded. Here it is. You all discovered the violation on December the 9th of 2022. That's the date the court will start with. The statute of repose is 5 years, assuming you found out in year 3 after the act. Most of you didn't. If people want to believe they have more time or otherwise can game the system, that's on you. And guys, definitely the major deadline is the beginning of December, and we have to keep this in mind. And if someone of you want to push this case forward through litigation, please do it before the beginning of December. On top of that, guys, take a look right here. Trader Zero published this tweet with the explanation, step-by-step basically explanation of the limits of statute of limitations. Let me quote you this. MMTLP crew is once again confused and looking at answers from idiots in the community, this time on statute of limitations. So, I don't like this type of narrative, but guys, we have to deal with it. Here are the relevant statutes of limitations to MMTLP. 1. Securities fraud claims. Federal law under 28 U.S.C. paragraph 1658 subsection B. Private securities fraud claims must be filed within 2 years of discovering the violation or within 5 years of the violation itself, whichever is earlier. 2. State law claims. Breach of fiduciary duty or corporate misconduct. These claims typically have a 3 to 5 year statute of limitation, depending on the state. It's essential to consult the specific state statutes where the claim would be filed. And for this reason, we still have more time to act, but it will not be related to the illegal actions of U3 halt. Number 3. Key dates in the MMTLP and next breach situation. MMTLP trading halt. FINRA halted trading of MMTLP shares on December the 9th of 2022. NBA spin-off. The spin-off of next breach hydrocarbons was completed in December 14th. Of 2022 with shares distributed to MMTLP shareholders. Guys, we know that NBH spin-off didn't happen on December 14th. It happened later. But so far, without the judge's decision that confirms that these actions happened later, and we know that it was some kind of coding issue with these filings. And in my opinion, it was nothing else but just an attempt to kick the can down the road. But as long as we don't have the judge's decision on the dates, this is the official dates that we should keep in mind. Number 4. Application of statute of limitation. Securities fraud. If fraudulent activities related to MMTLP or the spin-off occurred, investors would need to file claims within the earlier of 2 years from discovery or 5 years from the occurrence. For example, if fraud was discovered in December of 2022, the statute of limitations would expire in December of 2024. So, it is quite obvious. Breach of fiduciary duty. Claims against corporate officers or directors for breach of fiduciary duty typically have a longer SOL. If such a breach occurred during the spin-off, the SOL would depend on specific state laws but could range from 3 to 5 years, and we already discovered it previously. Number 5. Consideration. Discovery rule. The SOL clock starts when the plaintiff discovers or reasonably should have discovered the facts constituting the violation. Tolling. And this is quite important part. Certain circumstances, such as fraudulent concealment, can pause the SOL, extending the time to file a claim. And guys, for now, the only person who can file these actions of fraudulent concealment is Greg McCabe, and he is the only person, in my opinion, who can postpone the SOL. And so far we don't have any actions from Greg McCabe. That is why Scott is asking him to give more information that might be relevant to his lawsuit and that might help us all in terms of the resolution. And that is why, guys, we can see how Scott Roth is acting, and that is why, like it or not, he is free to act as he wants, because it is his lawsuit against the wrongdoers and it is his action. And on top of that, he tries to help the entire MMTLP community. And like it or not, right after December the 9th, we will not have any more options rather than 2 active lawsuits that were filed by Mark Basile, where the lead plaintiff is Anna Trades, and the second one is Scott Roth's RICO lawsuit. So, let me show you another quite interesting update that connects the dots in between university lands and the TRCH and MMTLP company. Here you can see the tweet that was published by Elf Carbon 15 hours ago. And as you can see, here is the reference to the tweet of Theo. Let me quote you first of all this one. Dallas Regional Chamber Top Investors 2024 includes TSX Venture Canada, the Options Clearing Corporation, Texas A&M of University Lands, Northern Trust and Bank of America, Citi and Fidelity. I wonder what that's about. And take a look right here. Take a look at the tweet that was written by Alf. Why all the Texas stock fell and stacked? We all know NextBridge Hydrocarbons Orogrande lease is with University Land System, a Texas company. But did you know that Texas company is potentially more involved with MMTLP than simply being the leaseholders for the Orogrande? What's the University Land System? The University Land System is a Texas manages approximately 2.1 million acres of land, primarily located in West Texas. These lands are part of the Permanent University Fund, PUF. The revenue generated from leasing the lands for oil, gas, minerals and other resources extraction goes into the PUF. University Lands oversees the leasing, production and revenue collection from these lands. This includes royalties from oil and gas extraction, surface leases and other related activities. What's the Texas Treasury Safekeeping Trust Company? The Texas Treasury Safekeeping Trust Company, TTSTC, stands as one of the most powerful financial entities in Texas, managing billions of dollars on behalf of state agencies, endowments, and political subdivisions. The TTSTC is responsible for managing and investing assets held in trust for state entities to protect and grow the financial assets of Texas's public sector. This is critical to ensure funding for everything from schools to emergency preparedness. TTSTC operates under the Texas Comptroller's Office and is tasked with the safekeeping and growth of funds, including the Permanent University Fund, PUF, which benefits the University of Texas system and the Texas A&M University system. They oversee large pools of money such as Texas Permanent School Fund, the Texas Emergency Rainy Day Fund, and numerous other endowments. TTSTC has made a name for itself by venturing heavily into alternative investment, a broad category that includes hedge funds, private equity, real estate, and commodities. While these alternative assets offer the potential for high returns, they also expose the fund to significant volatility. Critics argue that this strategy could put public funds at risk, especially in the event of a market downturn. While these investments can yield impressive returns, they carry the shadow of substantial losses, a reality the public may not be fully aware of, thanks to the Trust's limited transparency in reporting its investment activities. And here is the most important part. Why does the connection between University Lands and TTSTC matter? The TTSTC is a broker who held MMTLP stock through the U3 held by FINRA. They now hold the spin-off company NextBridge Hydrocarbons. As holders of MMTLP, do we have concerns? A broker with massive power over the leaseholder of the Orogrande is also a holder of MMTLP. Do we think there is a chance this financial interest was a factor in NextBridge Hydrocarbons losing the lease in 2025? Do we confidentially trust that these positions are long? What Fiji identifier do they hold? Can they prove these are American shares and not the European phantom shares? And guys, in my opinion, it is a pure conflict of interests because of the actions of TTSTC on this field, and I have to admit that this might be the potential reason of that NextBridge Hydrocarbons have lost the lease in 2025. And guys, we don't know why this happened, but we know for sure that all the conditions were met by NextBridge Hydrocarbons, and we don't know the reason of this cancellation. Unfortunately, in my opinion, Craig McCabe knows the reason, but he doesn't want to disclose it. That is why, guys, Scott Roth is acting to ask the transparency, and he's trying to reveal this information and to use it in MMTLP case's favor. So let me show you some more quite interesting details. Elf Carbon also reposted this. So SEC, did you see Theo post yet? And here is the post that is, in my opinion, extremely important. SEC, can you shed some light on why it's so hard to get the data on MMTLP? Because this document from your Division of Economic and Risk Analysis in 2016 was able to pull 1.8 million trades by more than 200,000 investors. I would think looking at 65,000 investors would be easier. Link in thread in case you magically lost the paperwork. Here is the document itself. It is the Securities and Exchange Commission Division of Economic and Risk Analysis. Here's the date, December 16, 2016, and this report was made by Joshua T. White. And here's the most important part. To shed light on this issue, I examine OTC investor outcomes using a dataset of 1.8 million trades by more than 200,000 individual investors. So guys, almost 10 years ago, to be precise 8 years ago, SEC was able to pull this dataset out of $1.8 million. But for now, for some reasons, with this quite huge step towards the better managing of the databases, they can't do the same. And guys, in my opinion, it is a pure lie. On top of that, in terms of the numbers, let me show you another quite interesting fact. So Pocahontas made this tweet in response to Meta News tweet that Meta News wrote 16 hours ago. And Pocahontas wrote, "Numbers sure speak louder than words. Meta News raised some excellent points. Your recent polling showed over 50% of the community on X, less than 10% of total shareholders, haven't transferred to ST, and yet ST was 62% at capacity nearly a year ago per the old S1A statement." And here's the tweet of Meta News. Let me show you this in details. Let's look at the old S1A, which hasn't been updated or effective for nearly a year. NextBridge share count S1A update December the 1st of 2023. As of November 28th of 2023, ST had 155,253,829 registered out of 248,830,516 outstanding. Total shares 62% in ST, MMTLP. Let me show you more. Now, with this new X poll, it shows that over 50% of people haven't transferred over the transfer agent yet. To give a perspective, the MMTLP Twitter X community is very small compared to the 65,000 shareholders out there. So, if over 50% of MMTLP shareholders haven't transferred their shares yet, wouldn't you think there is a huge overage with counterfeit shares in NextBridge MMTLP? And why isn't there an update for the S1 in almost a year? Remaining shares left to be transferred to fill the bus is 93,576,687. So guys, definitely this might be quite interesting comparison, especially if you keep in mind that we don't have a lot of MMTLP shareholders, we don't have a lot of active MMTLP shareholders on X. That is why this data, even if some people just clicked on this response randomly, even in this case, we might extrapolate the data and we can assume that there is much more shares outstanding rather than about 250 shares as of December of 2023. And this is another evidence of share imbalance that might be used in the lawsuit and that no one from authorities' side want to disclose. So that is why, guys, we have to unite and keep pushing, and we have to push as hard as we can in order to see the resolution. And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you.